Hi, I'm Marjorie Hernandez, and this is my way. The first of my companions would be Loretta as Jack, because she is a person that I can always trust, and she's always very realistic, and she's someone who I can always talk to and just be myself, and so I believe that she's just one of my greatest friends. So I believe that she's a lot like Jack in that manner. And Sarah for me would be my sister Cynthia, and she has been with me through thick and thin, and she knows everything about me, and she's never afraid to tell me what she thinks, and she's so outspoken and she's ready to defend everyone, and she's just a person with a big heart, and that's why I believe she's my Sarah. And my juiced would be Diana, and she is she's my best friend, and I can trust her with practically everything, and she knows everything about me. I'm never afraid to tell her everything that goes on in my life. So we have this trust that I believe is um, insane, and sometimes we think of a lot about the same things, and she's just a funny and lovable person, and she's one of the sweetest people I know, so that's why I believe she's used. My luxury hotel would be my grandparents' home in El Salvador, because they are just the sweetest people, and every time we go to El Salvador, my grandparents are just the sweetest and willing to do everything in their power to make us happy. And they take us everywhere, they give us tours, and they have us try these amazing, cultural and delicacies, and they're always just there for me. And even though I don't see them as often, um, every time I'm with them, I have a really good time. So, my hostel for me would be my friend group. We actually consist of 14, so it could be a little insane sometimes, and we actually have to use two tables at lunch to fit us all. But we're really the closest friends and friend group out there, and I think I can trust every single one of them, and I'm never afraid to be myself, and they're always there for me and understanding, and they're just great people. So they're my hostel. My cathedral would be the St. Patrick's Cathedral that I went to in New York City, and that was such an amazing experience because I went there with two of my closest friends, Laura and Diana, as you can see. But they just being there was one of the greatest experiences, seeing how the architecture and everything worked and how it touched me as a person. And just being there with my friends was one of the greatest experiences, and I think that's what made it so special. My French police captain would be my Uncle Elmer, and he's one of the sweetest persons I know, and he's actually been through a lot. So he's a very inspiring person, and I found him a lot very similar to the French police captain, because he's a person who's always guided me and always told me what he thinks, and he gives me advice for everything going on in my life, and he understands a lot of what I go through, and he's just an amazing person to talk to, and that's why I see him as the French police captain. My friend Frank would be my mom, because she's always been there for me, and we have such a close bond, and she always knows what to say and like what to do to make me feel better, and she's always putting me and the rest of my sisters first and doing everything she can to make us happy. So and she's such a great role model to me, so I believe that she's my Friar Frank. My Ishmael and son would be my Aunt Sandra and her son Alex, and they're really just the cutest, and she's an amazing mom and aunt. And so Alex is one of the greatest kids and the sweetest kids I know, and she's teaching him so well, and he's actually my favorite cousin as mean as that sounds, but I love them all. But he's just one of the sweetest little boys I know, and his birthday's coming up, and so um, I just find that, like, I believe that his character and his personality and how he's so respectful towards us women and everything is a lot because of my aunt. So, yeah. And that's the end, but these are all the people and places that have inspired me and that have contributed to my way. The end.